Hey everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm going to be making a scenic card featuring this gorgeous tree die by Lawn Fawn, and I'm also going to be working with the Kudetake Zig Art Graphic Twin markers. This Lawn Fawn die is called the Leafy Tree Backdrop, and it's available in two different formats, a landscape and a portrait. And I'm going to be working with the portrait format because I wanted to make a vertical scenic card. And I'm going to take my magnetic platform by Sizzix and get my cutting pad on there and some 140-pound watercolor paper by Canson. Get my die in place there, and I'll put the top cutting pad on and send it through my Big Shot. And when I come back, you can see what makes this die so unique. It creates a frame around the tree, so you have lots of fun possibilities for creating some 3D scenes. Now I'm also going to be working with the Art Graphic Twin Markers by Kudetake Zig, and hands down these are my absolute favorite water-based markers ever in the history of the world. I love that they are available individually. They also come in 4-color packs, which, you know, they're different color families. They also come in a 12-pack and the Big Mama, which is 84 colors and also contains a blender to work with. So why do I love these markers so much? Well, how much time have you got? Well, to be honest, I love them because they are water-based. I can use them for coloring my paper, or I can color direct to rubber. I can use them for different water coloring techniques. I can use them for omitting and color different portions of my rubber stamp directly with the brush nib. It comes in a huge range of colors, pretty much every color I would ever possibly conceivably need on the planet. The colors are very rich and vibrant. The markers have a brush tip and a bullet tip. That's why they call it the Art Graphic Twin. And the nibs are made of rubber, which is very durable, and they don't fray. So that means you've got a lot of longevity in these nibs. Another thing I really love about these markers, and it's a small detail, but I love the fact that it's very easy to tell which end is the big brush nib and which end is the bullet nib because of the way they've designed the caps. So there's no question when you pull out a marker and start to use it, you know which end that you're getting. The other thing I wanted to mention is how easy it is to just apply the color straight to this scrap of watercolor paper from the die cut. And I'm holding my marker flat instead of using the tip so that I could get more coverage, and I'm adding another lighter green, and I just wanted to spread some patches of color around. Now depending on the paper that you're using, or if you're coloring directly onto a rubber stamp, because it is rubber against rubber, it does squeak a little bit, but that for me is just nothing compared to the results that I get with these markers. I absolutely love them. And here I'm just taking a water brush, my Pentel Aquash, but you could use a flat brush and some water to spread that color around. And then I'm going to heat set it very quickly with my heat gun so that it can keep moving on with the rest of my project. And I love the variegation in color, but you could manipulate it more with the water and continue reactivating it until you get the results that you like. I love that mottled, marbly color that I end up getting when I do it that way. So now I'm going to take the die cut tree and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the brown marker to just scribble some color right where I want it onto that tree trunk, and I'm just working very quickly. And then again, I'm going to take my water brush and start spreading that color around. One of the cool things about using a water-based marker is that as you start to manipulate the color with water, you start to see the variations of other colors that were all combined to come up with this particular color of brown. So as you get to know your markers, this is just kind of a really cool thing that I've observed when I'm working with it. So now once I've got as much color as I want, if I've got too much, I'm just going to take a little bit of clean paper towel and dab away where I'd like to have it to be, just a little bit lighter, but you can continue manipulating and adding more color until you're happy. And then once you are, you can go ahead and heat set it so you can keep working. Now I'm going to take the panel that I already previously watercolored in green, and I'm going to use this portion of the die and a set of the leaves, and I'm just going to run that through my Big Shot all together. And in this way, they're all colored at one time. I didn't have to sit there and try to color each of these pieces individually. It's already done. And another thing I like to do is to take a small bowl and just scrape those, toss them into the bowl so that they don't get lost on my work surface and I can find them very quickly. And I'm going to use some tape runner, or not tape runner, but the double-sided sticky tape by Be Creative and go ahead and mount some strips of that on the back. But I did want to show you how this could be a hill, or it could be the leaves to your tree, depending on the style of tree that you want. There's some oak leaves in this die set as well, but I'm going to use that as a little hillside there as I'm creating my scene. And I'm going to pop an A2 card made from Neenah Solar White into my Misty stamp positioner, and I'm just going to temporarily place the die cut that I've got all watercolored and ready to go there on top and hold it down in place with the magnets so that I can position my greeting. I wanted to have it set in a certain spot, and then I'm going to go ahead and mount that by closing the lid of the Misty. I'm going to ink up with VersaFine Onyx Black. I wanted a very deep, rich, crisp black ink here. And then once I have that impressed on it, I can continue building the card. And I pulled a Carissa here and pulled down my sleeve so I could make sure I was getting a crisp impression all the way across. Now to get this mounted, I wanted to have a 3D effect. So I'm just going to custom cut some little skinny strips of foam mounting tape and get those mounted all the way around the perimeter along the frame so that they won't show. And then I'm going to add some small bits to different areas of the tree and the backside of that hill so that they have enough support when they get mounted to the card front. So now all I have to do is peel away the liner, and I did that already on the hillside and the tree, but I'm only going to peel them away partially on the outer edges there, and that's so that I can hang on to those and kind of futz around with it, make sure that I'm getting it placed exactly where I want it. If it's crooked, I have a little bit of fudge room because then I can kind of pop it back up without destroying the whole card or the die cut shape. So now I've got it anchored exactly dead on where I need it, and then I can go ahead and pull the remainder of those strips out, and I'm going to get in there with my angled tweezers in between the other pieces there to just get a hold of that little, I can't get in there with my fingers, so that's where my tweezers really come in handy. Get a hold of that and peel those both away, and then I can press them together. At this point, I knew I wanted to include a little tiny house in my scene, so I borrowed one of the tiny houses from the Hearth and Home die set, and I watercolored a little scrap of watercolor paper the same way I did for the leaves, and then die cut the house out. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape runner there on the back of the house and tuck it in beside or behind the hillside there. And then for one last finishing detail, I'm going to use a black tip Copic multi-liner pen to add a little bit of smoke curls there at the top of the chimney. This is a really fun die. I think you'll enjoy working with it, and I have all kinds of ideas in mind for creating little 3D scenes like this. We have still shots available at the Classroom blog, and all the supplies are listed below and available at ellenhudson.com. Thanks for watching.